All right. Good evening, Precious. Good evening, Manna. Good evening, Yola.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It's been a long journey. It's been quite a journey for us all. And today we've come to the end of that journey. Even though it's not the end, it's like a break in the phase, like in the project. But the journey is a life's journey. So how will I put it now? It's a journey that transcends just the four walls of these meetings, of this classroom, and what we add together, the sessions, the one-on-ones, and all. So I believe after today, it's like a push for you guys to go and learn more and do more and become more. So it's a charge for you guys to not just stop at where we stopped, not just stopped at where the lesson note stopped and where the video stopped, that you're constantly equipping yourself to become better at your career path, and not just your career path, but at the vision you've written for yourself. At the start of this program, we started by listing out the vision. We listed out the goals, our 10 years goals, our 5 years goals. We listed out these visions and these goals. It's important that you keep this document where you can look at it every week, every month. There should be a pattern to your reviewing the document. So don't just neglect the document, don't neglect the notes, don't neglect the things that you've worked on. It's going to help you as you grow, like in 5 years to come, 10 years to come. You'll go back and look at those goals and at the vision you've written down, and you see yourself becoming that person. So that's the essence of this goal. So the essence of this program is beyond just career, is beyond just you having a career path or you getting a job. It's meant to help you see a better version of yourself, to see what the future can be like, to see what you can become, and then help you see the step by step process in which you can achieve that. So the program is something that you can apply to every area of your life. We have our guest here, Mr. Charles Obirinanwa. You're welcome, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and
Thank you.
clear. Amazing. So, as I was saying, the essence of this program is not just for your career, it's not just for you to get a good job. If you look at the thoroughness of the program from the start, each of the weeks, the notes, you notice that it addresses almost every areas of your life, both the career, the finance, and everything. So you can apply the same principle to your own life. You can apply the same principle to every area of your life. So don't just see this as probably we are stop. It ends here. No, no, no. It's something that continues even after today, and you shouldn't stop. So the notes that you created, I will revert on that again. It's very important. You see that I've been like talking about the notes that you guys created. Each person has his or her note. You all have your notes. So that single link, that single document is something that you should not lose, and you should always review it and rework on it. Some things will change after 1 year. some things will change after 2 years. Your goals will change, but that document should not change. You should always update it and always work with it. If things are in that document, you have your resume. In that document, you have your portfolio. In that document, you have other things that you've worked on through the course of the program. So my welcome remarks or my charge for you guys is don't lose that and don't stop here. Continue to learn, continue to become more, and continue to equip yourself. So in the next, I don't want us to take too long here today. So in the next on our program is just to get feedbacks and reviews from you and your reflections of how the program has been for you. Each person you're going to speak, actually, everybody will speak. So, reflection of how the program, what stood out for you, what you think, this one really, I learned a lot in this aspect. This one really, I stressed, I couldn't get this properly. So, you see, Temnolo, as she left, when she had to be speaking, nobody should leave again. So we are going to we're going to have that. So first let me start. I'll be using my screen. So I'll start from Eniola. Eniola, you can go ahead.
I'm sorry, please can you repeat what you want me to talk about? I did not
Eniola,
get it.
are you sure you've been listening?
I was a bit distracted for a while. I'm sorry.
All right. So I said give us a feedback, a reflection of how the program has been for you, what stood out for you, and what you think you'll be doing to improve yourself and to further the learnings you've gained from this program.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so throughout the program, I from the beginning of the program, I had the opportunity to self-reflect. So I read the notes, I watched the videos, and then I was able to reflect through the tasks that I was able to do. And what stood out for me the most was the week one, where you asked us to draw a vision board. That was the first time ever drawing a vision board for me, and it was a great experience as it helped me to look into myself and examine the things I really wanted for myself. And then throughout for the rest of the weeks and the tasks that I was to do, especially the ones where you drop the templates for applications. So it's reaffirmed to me and in my consciousness that I'm supposed to keep track of everything I'm doing in my career journey, in my career path, so that I'm able to keep track of it and understand my progress and all that. So, what I'm going to be doing from now on, I'm going to ensure that I look over the entire module and go over what you've thought, go over my tasks again and update them as necessary. And I also give myself to continuous learning. I'm going to ensure that my learning does not stop here as regards my career journey, and I will make sure I go over the books you added to the after module um file. So that's it for me. Thank you very much, Sam Femi.
Sorry, I was muted. That was very loaded, and I'm glad to get that feedback from you, Eniola. Thank you so much. And I love that you go through the resource pack that I created. So that resource pack, it's a general one. So there is definitely something you'll find there for everyone. So and it will continue to be updated. So I'll keep updating it with a lot of resources. So I'll talk more about that later. So let's take the next person. So we have Manna. You can go ahead.
I'm muted, sorry. Good evening, everyone. Um, I think what stood out for me, like Eniola said, it was actually that first week. It was creating my vision board because I've actually never tried to create a vision board before. I know that okay, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be. I have all those things in my head, but I never actually tried to, streamline everything or like break everything down and say, okay, this is what I can achieve in 3 months, this is what I can achieve in a month, this is what I can achieve in 6 months. I've never actually tried to do that. And well, that was very challenging for me, and it actually took a lot of time because I had to start thinking, oh, what do I want to do in the next 10 years? Where do I want to be? And I remember encountering some difficulties along the way, and I called you, and you're like, okay, Desire, you actually have too many things that you want to do, and you actually have too many things that you want to be, and you just have to focus on one. It's a career, and it's okay. You're human. You might want to do too many things, but there has to be one particular thing that you have to focus on. And I actually took that, and I stay focusing, and I stay eventually went over my fear, and I applied to one uh, I applied to volunteer in one organization, a non-profit organization, and they said that they have not sure gotten back to me, but they are going to reach out to me very soon, hopefully. At least I applied, and that's a major step that I have not actually taken since I said my career journey. It's not been I'm usually too scared to actually apply. So when I did, I actually felt confident, and now I'm excited to do more, and I'm excited to apply to more firms, and just I'm just open to opportunities. And then optimizing my LinkedIn, I think that's another major challenge that I have. I was speaking with my accountability partner, and she said, she was like, "Oh, have you optimized your LinkedIn page? Do you have a bio?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I've actually not done anything to my LinkedIn page because I actually don't even know where to start from." But I'm very sure that with her help, because she has actually been very helpful, with her help, I'm going to get that done. Thank you so much for this course, by the way. Very insightful, very impactful as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Manna. Thank you so much for the feedback. I'm glad you guys found week one very interesting. Okay, I am looking forward to your LinkedIn. So connect with me on LinkedIn once you're done. I want to see your LinkedIn page. All right. So let's have who is next on my screen? Okay, Busola. Yes, Busola, you can go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I What stood out for me mostly was actually, as everyone said, was week one, because that was the starting point to everything. For those who haven't done anything yet with um finding their dream job and roles. So me on the like for me, it was I was very confused because I had so many things that I wanted to be, and it just from watching all the videos as Sam Femi actually told me to go to, and the notes and all, it all brought reflections to just one thing. Concerning the time where we had to create a vision board, it wasn't easy because I had a lot on my head that I wanted to go for, but we just had to stick to just one thing. So, and the resume, building a resume, building a portfolio. The other, where we had to, as we move on to other tasks, we had we had that's lesson 2, week 3, lesson 2, where we had to build a resume. I've never built a resume before, and I was so excited that for the first time this we're doing something meaningful, because back then when I was a child, I watching people go for interviews and the likes, there's this fear. But with this program, it has made it ease, like an ease for me, that we just get to use tools that makes it easier for you to build a resume, and build a nice portfolio. Yes. So I would say week 1 was perfect, so good. Cause building a vision board wasn't that easy for starters like us. So I yes, week 1, building a resume, and I would love to say thank you so much, Sam Femi. This was what stood out for me.
Thank you so much, Busola. That was very insightful into what stood out for you, and hearing that this was your first time of building a resume and portfolio. That brought smile to my face and joy to my heart, knowing that this was very helpful to you. And I believe with the resources and everything, and also the support group, like I said, it's not the end. We are still together, but we're just ending the program, but we are still together. So if you need anything, we are on the support group together. So just drop your questions, drop your message. I'll definitely get to them. All right, let's go to the next person. Precious, do we have Precious here?
Yes. Okay, can we all please? Hello? Can we all hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Trust we are doing good, and hope our day went well. So, what stood out for me in this beautiful program? Firstly, I would like to say thank you very much, Mr. Sam Femi, for putting this initiative together and for being consistent on our necks. Because procrastination is one thing that I've always tried to like deal with. So most of the times, if I sign up for something, I'll just go halfway. But for the fact that I was able to complete this to the glory of God is something that, yes, thank you very much. And all I just want to say is that everything was very, very loaded. In fact, I was overwhelmed with the resources that I saw. I was like, how can somebody give this plenty resources on a platter of gold? Surely it takes somebody that is empathetic and that has the heart of God, and looks out for other people, that can be able to put resources together. Because if I were to be the one, I don't think, well, you're not paying for this, so let me just basically like give you half. So, but you didn't do that. You gave us your best, and as if that was not enough, you recorded videos for us, and the videos were very, very nice, and so very, very insightful. A very big thank you to you, sir. And I think what also stood out for me was the fact that I always ran away from career talks and all of that. It's not like I'm not nerdy myself. I am quite nerdy, but the thought of sitting on a desk, answering boss calls and all of that didn't really fit in well to me. So I didn't like update my CV and all of that. But this program actually, like, oh my goodness, I I I went back to my CV I went back to my resume. I was able to create a portfolio, and everything was just top notch. Thank you very, very much. It was nothing short of amazing, excellent. Thank you so much for this initiative. God bless you, sir.
Amen. Thank you so much, Precious, for the feedback. Thank you. Thank you. So let's have Timilolua. You're muted if you're speaking.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Can you hear me? Okay, okay, okay. Um, I hope we had a nice day. So, firstly, today's our graduation, and I'm so excited. But I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Sam Femi and Seamless Life Africa in total for this opportunity to learn. Like Precious said, it could have actually been a paid course because of all of the lessons and all that were jam packed in this course. Like I learned a lot, starting from the first week where I have to like break down what I want for myself in a year, 5 years, 10 years. It was from the beginning I just knew that okay, I think this program is for me because I never I've never like sat down and break down my plans or my goals or my visions into segments. I just know that okay, I want to do this, okay, I want to become this, but then the program gave me proper insights to, write down these things, look at them, work towards them. So yeah, that really, really helped me. And then what I just want to say is that some of the lessons that I took from this section, like I said before, I think I already told Mr. Femi before, it was more of a career thing. Meanwhile, we're still in school, but like that does not mean I just feel like all of the things that I've learned now, that I've learned in this section, I am definitely going to put them into use when I am out of school, like when I am in the labor market, when I'm trying to like look for a job, when I'm trying to like settle down. So I'm definitely going to use most of the lessons that I learned from this tax. And the part where I knew that was a bit challenging was the tax submission. um I don't know, for me deadline was a bit tough. I understand that it's a week interval before we get to like submit another tax and all, but sometimes I used to like jam pack the lessons. I would have to like watch videos for week after I watch all the videos for that particular week, then I'll now start answering the tasks that are underneath it. So it was a bit challenging for me because of time, but we give glory to God. We are done finally, and I am really, really grateful for this opportunity once again. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I I was expecting someone to also give feedback on how rigorous it was, like the tax submissions and all. I, but thank you, Temiloluwa, for that feedback. Now you want to speak about the she wants to say something. Why are you raising up your hand? The truth is right.
I have to now, but it was
Yeah,
very
go ahead.
short. Actually, it was 1 week.
Yeah,
I have to take over my life in 1 week. I did not know how to do it, and it was very tight. Then I had to now be jam packing for week one. I move it to week two, and then week two, and I'll not be able to submit only week one, and then week two, and I have to move it to week three, and then week three we now move to week four. It was a whole lot of, you had to do it a whole lot of critical thinking and I don't know, just going deep and then writing it down all in 1 week. Then I was not in a place that the network was just bad. So I could not even do anything. No research, no nothing. I come outside mosquito be biting me. I was suffering.
I understand. it's part of the program. So the truth is, there's a law. I am trying to recall the name of the law. Say a task takes the amount of time that you give it. Like I'm trying to recall the name of the law. But if you set a time limit for a particular task, if you set maybe 1 hour or 3 hours for a particular task, it will take you 3 hours. If you want to, there's this talk from Elon Musk which he said it's how like I'm trying to put it together now. Just put know it this way: a task takes the span of time that you allocate to it. That's just it. So the reason why the time is so short is because if we give it 1 year, we make it a 1 year program, it's you guys are going to relax and it's not going to be intense. So it's better we do it in a very intense way and then you guys complete it at once. So this is actually there's a reason why it's so short and intense so that you guys can really focus on it and get over it at once instead of waiting till for 1 year. So and I'm like I said, it's the document you guys created is not it's you can constantly update it and it's going to be helpful for you in the long run. So I'm glad it was intense. Like I'm glad actually that it was intense and you guys were able to also pull through despite the intensity and how short the time was. I'm really glad, and I look forward to hearing more feedback on how you guys were able to use the resources, the notes you created, the vision board, and everything. Even the tracking of job, the tracking of your learning roadmaps. Like there are a lot of resources in that document, a lot, like that you can use on a constant basis. So I'm going to be bringing in our guest speaker right now. So uh, let me give a brief breakdown of how I got him to jump on this call to show how the art he has for this kind of program. Also, we share the same kind of art, the same kind of vision, and so when I told him about this graduation not quite long, but the first thing that came out of his mouth was, I love speaking to students. I love speaking to young adults on how they can better their life. Like any opportunity that comes, sorry, any opportunity that comes, he likes to jump on it. So this shows his art, even though the he got the notice in a very short while, he still accepted and he showed up. And to even tell you the truth, his time zone and our own time zone is not the same. He's currently in the United States and he had to sacrifice his time to be on this call. So that's just the preliminary introduction to show that he's really happy being here and he's here to really dish out value and to share some advice to you guys that will be very helpful to you as you continue on this track. So Charles Obirinanwa is an author, a well-known author, and is also the founder of the Reach for Gold initiative. So the Reach for Gold initiative has several programs under it, and we're currently having the fellowship, which is commencing on Monday. The application is commencing on Monday, which I'll also be sharing with you guys so that you guys can publicize and also apply. Like that, if you're eligible and if you're qualified to be there, and you can also share with people that are qualified. So aside that, he has he has done a lot in helping people. He has a heart for the people, a heart for society, and a heart for humanity. Single-handedly through his initiative, he has improved the lives of several people, and one that I can recently and currently mention is Iborokpa community, where like despite I am like is a person of big vision. Despite the limited resources, it doesn't allow that to limit him. He sees a big vision and goes after it. Through the Iburupa community, he has done a lot for the school renovations. He has created a bowl for them also, and a water tank, like different things for just that community. What if I start to mention everything, it's going to like it's maybe that would be the talk for today actually. But I don't want to if I start mentioning everything, so it I don't want that to be our talk for today. But definitely is a very resourceful person. He's a someone that carries value, and he exhibits value in everything that he does. And see, he's sending me. All right, let's with with emojis. Let's welcome Charles Obirinanwa. Like we are grateful for for granting our invitation and accepting to be here. You're welcome, sir. You can take the stage.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening, Sam. Good evening, everyone. That's Seamless Life ECAP. I hope I got the name right. Let me first point out something. When Sam was introducing me, I was like, who is this person that he's talking about like this? Because I'm like, I'm like, who is this? And I had to slide into the DMs and be like, who is this person? And I'm sure that's why he was laughing at some point. Because I'm like, who is this? But it's a pleasure to be here. And let me start by um, appreciating you for the opportunity to come share knowledge. As you know, and as you rightly said, anytime an opportunity to come share knowledge with people arises, it's something I always like to jump on. I also want to thank you for the time and your commitment to these wonderful set of leaders and people who are going to do a lot of great and mighty things in the world. Um, My name is Charles Obirinanwa. I'll just do a quick summary of all Sam said. And yes, it's true. I'm the founder of the Reach for Good initiative, where we work with communities to help develop them. And we have three focal areas that we look at. We work with them in education, in helping to get the education system to be in line with global standards. We work with them in terms of infrastructure, and our focus infrastructure is on water security. And we also do work with them with rejuvenating their local economy. Currently, we have a community that we are working with called the Barokpa community in Ondo State of Nigeria. On the other hand, when I'm not doing reach for good work, I'm doing quality control. So I'm also a quality control analyst with pharmaceuticals, and I like to say that that's the skill for me. And when I'm not doing that, I'm you know doing this, coming to share knowledge at conventional gatherings like this. So it's most beautiful pleasure. It's one that I'm very grateful for to be in your midst and to come share knowledge today. I don't have a very specific thing I'm going to be talking about. So it's going to be, lots of bits here and there for me to put together, and I'm going to be speaking from more of I've heard everyone. I've heard when everyone was sharing one or two things about how they've been blessed by this program that just concluded. And one thing stands out: everyone has obtained value. Everyone has obtained value. So I don't know how it works with Google Meet. If people can can like comment in the chat box, but I'd love us to also engage ourselves. So I'm not, the only person speaking. So if we can engage ourselves in the chat box, that would be a really good thing. So, we are all, communicating. And just to be sure that I'm still being heard, I just want to be sure, can everyone still hear me? Can everyone still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much. That's good. So yeah, I started off with value. Everyone has gotten value, and that's why you're all here today to come share about your experiences. And you said all of these wonderful things about the program and about the the lead facilitator, which is Sam. And you've all talked about how it has impacted your lives. I've heard some people talk about how it was their first time of putting together a resume. I've heard some people talk about how they had, worked on a portfolio and how they began to get one opportunity or the other through being a part of this. And again, it still comes down to why value is very important. So, value, in my own opinion, I like to talk about what I feel I know. And I would try my best not to just point from anywhere, but what I feel I know. That's what I'll be sharing with us today. So value, I would say, is anything that once it's given can be cherished and is capable of changing the trajectory of things. I know I've brought in a couple of words here and there, but before we all came into this program that we just finished, many of us were, for lack of better choice of words, were raw materials. Like gold, we all had the potential to be gold. You may hear me talk about gold a lot because we work with gold a lot through Reach for Gold. So I love that word so much. I think Sam had joked at some point that he thinks my favorite color is gold. So you may hear me talk about gold. But when you look at how gold is, you see that it's still in the ground. When it's in the ground, it's very dirty, it's raw. If you've been privileged to watch some of these videos that come up on Instagram once in a while, you see where they are like extracting raw gold, or where someone goes to like a river and is trying to like pick up some stuff, a river that's close to a gold mine, and you see that they have to, just how they collect it. Now that's the one that isn't in the ground, the one that's like an offshoot, usually by the river beds. So they pick up like a bunch of sand from the river, put some water into it, especially in Southeast Asian countries, and then they are swirling it and swirling it and swirling it. Now it's so dirty, it's so muddy because they picked it up from mud. They picked mud, picked sand, everything together. And then it's so muddy, and then they swirl it with the water just to rinse it out and drain out the sand. And they keep doing that until they're able to have the fine, tiny little pieces, particles. They look like particles of gold at that point in time. Now, when that's done, 1 second, please. Yeah. And they swirl it and keep swirl. I'm sorry about that. They swirl it and try to get out the fine granules of the gold, and that's what they now would eventually take to a factory to work on and put together to have the chains, your necklaces, and all of that. On the other hand, like in Nigeria, for instance, where most of the gold is underground, you would drill so deep into the ground, you cause like a blast into the ground. It's messy, it's muddy. No one wants to be associated with that when it's it's still that way. And until they now extract it, upon extraction, they would now take and would fine tune it and burn it, and it passes through the furnace. I think that's another interesting process that gold has to pass through before it becomes the gold that we see. It passes through the furnace, it passes through heat, and the heat we're talking about isn't the regular kind of heat that many of us are used to. The boiling point of water is, I think, about 100 degrees Celsius. Now, the heat we're talking about for gold is several hundred, I believe, could even go up to thousands of heat of degrees, Celsius, that the gold will be exposed to in the furnace before it's now, melted, and then it can now be turned to those beautiful jewelries and stuff that we put on our necks and our hands and look so amazing. Now, why am I talking about that? Before every one of us came into this program, we were like the raw gold. We We had value, of course. I mean, we are all human beings, so by virtue of that, we have value. But then we didn't have a lot of experience or expertise in the things we've learned in this program. So we were very raw, and our career paths, I believe, were very mushy, muddy here and there, a bit scattered. Maybe some of us were trying to get a job. Some of us were probably trying to grow in the job that we are in, trying to get promoted and all of that. Our resumes were probably looking very shabby. Our cover letters were looking like, one funny thing like that. And, portfolio, some of us probably didn't even have a portfolio. I heard someone say on the call that they didn't even have a resume before the program started. So we were like that, raw, crude, and unrefined. But upon passing through it, what happened? We began to go to the furnace. I heard someone thanking Sam for the rigor. I think that person used the word procrastination, that he was always on your necks to say you have to meet this deadline, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now that was the furnace you were passing through. Now, when many of us are in that furnace part, usually not a very interesting time, part to be in. We feel tired, we feel weak. At some point, some person would begin to feel like, why am I even doing this? Like, I mean, how does this add to me? It's only beautiful when it gets to this point in time, but no one knows the effort and time that you've all put in to get to this point that you are today. And for that reason, I believe that you can all appreciate yourself and tell yourselves a job well done, that you have done something that that is going to take you to the next level of your life. So you pass through that stage, that crude stage, where you have to go through refining, where you are the bad parts are taken out of you, and then you are put on the right path. Your resume that was looking very interesting before now is looking even more interesting. Your cover letter that before couldn't had a lot of grammatical errors and stuff, now it looks really beautiful. You probably learned how you can use AI to optimize your resume. You've probably learned about how you can use LinkedIn to present yourself better with, before your potential employers, and also source for opportunities. And today, you are here today. You have gone through all of these processes, and you've become gold today. And that's the beautiful thing about about going through something like this. I've always said one thing, that invest in yourself so that you can become an asset. And the reason you want to become an asset is because when you're an asset, you become a wealth replicator. So this is how I usually phrase that statement. Invest in yourself so you become an asset. As an asset, you are a wealth replicator, not just a creator of wealth, but a wealth replicator. A creator of wealth is someone who comes and is doing the work, and then, oh yeah, we can do it this way. But then a replicator of wealth is someone who creates legacies, who leaves systems that other people can benefit from. And I believe that that's what anyone should want to be. Someone who 10, 20 years after now, people are still able, even when you are in there, people are still able to benefit and are impacted on from whatever system you have left behind you. So even through your careers, see that you probably may be working at a job now and it's like, oh, I would never really get to this point. No, you want to begin to see today that, oh, I want to get to the top of this field that I'm in. If I'm in health, I want to get to the top of this field. If I'm in business, I want to get to the top of this field. If I'm in education, I want to get to the top of the field. Because the way you begin to see yourself from now is how you are going to, is where you're going to eventually get to in the future. And you don't want to toy with it. There's a part of I'm a person of faith, and there's a part of scripture that I'm very passionate about. It's the place in the Bible where God was speaking to Abraham and said to Abraham, he said, look from where you are standing, for as far as you can see, I will give to you and your descendants. Now, I've always said that when God spoke to Abraham and said, as far as you can see, Abraham had a choice in his hand. And that's one thing that this program that you've gone through has left in your hands, choice. Now, I'm talking about value. Now I'm talking about choice and about how you see yourself from now. Abraham had a choice in his hand. God had given him a choice. He said, look from where you are, for as far as you can see, I would give to you and your descendants. He had a choice. He could have seen a tree in front of him and said, Lord, that's what I can see. I can see a tree in front of me. And that's fine. And that's what he would get. He would He will get just that tree, or from where he was standing to that tree. He could have seen an acre of land, and that's all he would get. He could have seen the whole nation, and that's what he would get. But Abraham saw farther than that. And the Bible talks about how God gave to him so much that, even today, for those of us who are Christians, we go to church and we're talking about how we are children of Abraham. There's this song they sing in church: Father Abraham has many sons, and I am one of them. That's how much he saw. That's how far he saw. So the way you are seeing yourself from now is how you will grow in that career, just so you know. You probably have the best resume. You have the most fancy cover letter. You probably secured the top level position in that company that you're working in. Or you are one of those who is maybe starting a business now. But it's how you see yourself from now, or where you see yourself eventually is where you would get to at the end of the day. So you want to have a very strong sight. The power of sight can never be underestimated. The power of sight can never be underestimated. In anywhere you find yourself, career, in real life, it can never be underestimated, because what you see is what you become. What you see is what you become. So you want to begin to see yourself at the top in wherever field you find yourself. And you know one beautiful thing about the power of sight? It makes you do even when you don't feel like doing. You know how sometimes you are chasing that position, you want to become the CEO of the company. And because you want to become the CEO of the company, you've seen that I've started seeing myself as CEO of this company. So I'm going to work as a CEO. I'm going to stand like a CEO. I'm going to present myself as a CEO. That's going to lead me to another point. But let me wrap up with this. Because of that, what do? You start to wake up very early to ensure you go to the office early. Because of that, you ensure that every task that is given to you, you do it in due time. You ensure that you don't procrastinate. You ensure that you are a person of integrity. You ensure that you are honest with whatever things you are given to do. That's what the power of sight does. The power of sight is able to make you do even when you don't feel like doing. Talked about value, talked about seeing, about the power of sight. And now I also talked about choice. So value, choice, power of sight. The next thing I'm also going to talk about is about you defining yourself eventually. You want to define yourself. Who am I? What am I? Where am I going to? What do I want? I'm going to ask you two questions today. The first one is, what do you want in your career? You've attended the Career Accelerator Program. That's a beautiful thing. Clap for yourself. That can go on your LinkedIn. You can brag about that. But if you don't know what you want for yourself out of this program, you wouldn't be able to get anything good from it. So what do you want for yourself out of this program? And then the second question that would have led to the thing that would have led to the power of vision is, how far can you see what you want? Once you're able to answer those two questions successfully, my dears, you have you've solved more than 50% of your problems, because you now know it's easier to deal with a problem when you know what the problem is than to deal with it when you don't have an idea of what the problem is. So now you know what you want, and then you begin to look at at how you can achieve what you want. So those things are very important components. And then on a much lesser note, let's talk about things like character. Let's talk about things like attitude. Let's talk about your response to certain things that would happen even as you get into the next phase of your lives. I don't know what everyone is doing, but I'm pretty sure that everyone has one or two things that they are occupied with at the right time, and that you need to have a right attitude to work. I heard one person talk about procrastination before. That's definitely something you want to keep, with you. You want to get yourself to a point where you have the right attitude to work. You want to be a person of integrity. You want to be a person that is honest. You want to be a person that's obedient, that's responsible, that's respectful to authority, even in the company. Because the professional world is a little different from how the regular, easy world is. It's a lot different. There's a lot of politics that goes in there. There's a lot of, nepotism that goes in there. There's so much that goes in, and sometimes if you're not in the books of the right, if you're not in the right books of the right person, or in the books of the right of a particular person, you find it hard to accelerate in that career. You may have the best resume, you keep applying for a good job, for the next position, you keep getting declined for that position. You may have a very good cover letter, you may have put in so much, and then you keep trying to get promoted, and you find it hard to do so. So what am I trying to talk about? I'm trying to say you want to have the right attitude to work. I've always told people this, that you should present yourself in such a way that even when someone wants to help you, it makes it easy for them to do so, even when they don't feel like doing it. Now, when someone wants to help you and they don't feel like doing it, present yourself in such a way that they are able to be convinced beyond reasonable doubt and every available evidence that this person is the best fit for whatever I'm going to commit into this person's hands. You've learned all of these things. Now, this is now something that is going to be very personal. It's not something that you can learn through a program, in my opinion. I would say it's something that you have to cultivate. It's a culture and a way of life. You are given a task to do in the office. Don't procrastinate. Don't push it forward. Do it right away. Ask, what deadline do you want me to meet? This is particular day. Okay, I'm going to do this at so time. You are asked to prepare a document. Try to prepare a document that is free of errors. All of these little things, as simple as they seem, are things that when you put all of them together, they can either make or they can mar you. So you want to cultivate a right attitude towards working. You want to ensure that you build the right network with the right set of people. As cliche as it sounds, I'm sure everyone has heard that. We've heard that at every stage. Your network is what determines your network. Who you position yourself with does a very huge job in how far you go through in life. Everyone that you've seen at this program, you shouldn't just be, oh, I attended one program and then you came in there. And once you came in, I'm just focusing on my own stuff. I just came here for this program and it's me and myself and I. No. Get numbers from people today. Get LinkedIn information. Get even Instagram information. Build relationships. Build connections. You'll be surprised the opportunity that is going to add value to you today. I'll tell you about how I got my first job right after college. Right. I mean, I've been working before then, but like getting a job as a quality control analyst wasn't just from because I had a very good resume or I had a very fancy cover letter. No. In my freshman year, talking about power of sight, I was still a very young student then. I think I was around, can't remember, would I say, I can't remember. But I know I was pretty young and I won't share my age so that no one will go calculate it. But I was really young then. And that was my second semester of my freshman year. And we usually have this career fair back at my college then. And I walked into the career fair as a second semester student and just walked up to one table. And when I walked up to the table, I saw the company. I was like, oh, this is a nice company. What do you guys do here? We're a pharmaceutical company. Nice. What's your major? I'm a biology major. Do you guys hire biology majors? I say, yes. I say, oh, I'm interested in the position. So, okay. I say, yeah, I'm a biology major. I say, oh, nice. What semester are you now? I said, I'm still a freshman. He laughed. He said, oh, wow. So that means you probably want to have like 2 or 3 semesters before you. I said, yeah. But I want to tell you one thing. I'm going to work at your company. You know what I didn't know is I was speaking to the vice president of that pharmaceutical company. Now, I live in the US. Picture the president of a company of over 500 people, a pharmaceutical company. I'm talking about a company that their annual revenue runs into tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. That's how much money they make for a pharmaceutical company because the products we make are products that are widely used in the world. We have partners that we work with, supply to in Japan, in even Africa, I would like to believe, in Europe and, all around the world. And I didn't know that a small me then was speaking to the vice president of that company. Connecting with the right people will take you far in life. That was then. The following semester, we were going to have the career fair again. The man came with his team and all of that. I walked up there again. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Do you remember me? You were like, no, I can't remember. I see a lot of people every day. And I'm like, yeah, you don't remember? It's okay. I'm so personal. I really can't remember. But you know what? Take my card. Then no problem. And then I told him, so are you coming to work at a place this summer? I said, no, I won't be able to because I'm still a sophomore now. That's my second year I was in. And then the third semester they came again. I reached out, I went there, walked up straight to them. And I was like, hey, do you remember me? And they were like, I don't exactly, but I can remember that we may have had a conversation about something. I cannot remember what, but I know that I probably have seen you somewhere. And then the fourth semester, when I went there, told the man, say, oh yeah, I do. And he said, do you still have my card? I said, yeah, I do. But I would like to take it again, just in case I go check and I can't find it. And that's how I picked it. Now, look, the 5th semester, they didn't come. The 6th semester, they didn't come. The 7th, when I graduated, they didn't come. I started applying for a lot of jobs. And trust me, the job market now is very terrible. It's bad. That's one sad truth that a lot of us have to accept. And that's why you're going to have to be the best at whatever thing you do. That's going to be my last point, being the best. And in the course of applying for jobs, I had applied for a lot of jobs. And this isn't like I haven't had any professional experience before. I have worked in a very professional setting, lots of professional settings before. But you know, you know how it is. I had applied to a lot of jobs. I wasn't getting called back. The few ones that I got in from 1 or 2 interviews for were just here and there. And you know what? Something told me one day, why are you deceiving yourself? Why don't you reach out to this man that time? Actually, this was even the company you wanted to start your journey at in as soon as you're done with college. And that's how I reached out to the man. When I reached out to him, I just sent him a message, hey, how are you doing? I wanted to inform you that my name is so and so person, and we met at the career fair at so time. And I just wanted to inform you that I'm done with college now, and I'm going to be done with college in about I think it was May, it was March then. And oh no, yeah, March. And I'm looking for a job and all of that. And he was like, oh sure, that's not a problem. Within 5 minutes to send an email back. He was like, send me your email, your resume and your cover letter. I sent it immediately. Within a week, I got an interview. Within the following week, I got the job. I graduated in May, got that job by the ending of March. So before I even graduated, when a lot of people were still praying, I already knew that it was already, as soon as I finished, on Friday, I started working the following Monday. So connection, as in Nigeria, we try to make connections sound like a bad thing, but I don't think it is. Networking is a very important asset if you are going to grow in anything that you find yourself in. Connect with the right set of people so that you would grow far. It's something they say. They say if you want to go far, I believe they said you walk alone. If you want to, I think, go farther or something, you work with people. So you want to go really far. And then to my last point, the Bible says one thing. Again, I told you I'm a person of faith. In Proverbs 22 verse 29, it says, "Here's have a man that's diligent in his business." You know what will happen to that man? He will stand before kings, and he will not stand before obscure men. I want to rebrand that part of the Bible a bit and put it this way. If you see a man that is diligent in his business or is the best at what he does, he will sit. You won't stand among those kings again. You will sit on the same table that those kings are sitting on. I mean, they're human beings. You're a human being. So why can't you sit on the table that that they're sitting on? You want to be the best at what you do. Be the best at what you do. Just be the best. Put in the best effort. When others are doing one, you do two. I'm not saying you should do eye service or you should be too forward, but you want to be the best. Take initiative at what you do. Be that person who they are working on a problem in the office. You sit down, you look at it critically, and at the end of the day, you say, "This is what I think is the loose end. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that." And at the end of the day, that thing solves the problem. You want to be a solution provider. Once you can be the best at what you do. You don't even need to be the one applying for opportunities. People would be the ones sending these opportunities to you. So pride, you should take so much pride in whatever you do, such that if you are waking up in the middle of the night, you are able to deliver on that thing excellently well. I love using this word, exceptionally excellent, meaning that your own kind of excellence is such that even among excellent people, you are called the best. Be that person. Once you are that person, you would see that you wouldn't need to search. You wouldn't need to search for opportunities to find their way to you. I hope with all of these things that I've shared, I was given 30 minutes to speak, and I hope I think I've kept to that. With all of these things that I've shared, I hope I've touched some point. I know it was a bit of a lot of pieces here and there, but I really hope that something has landed in your heart, and we are all ignited. We are all inspired, and we are ready to go and do so much great and mighty things in the world. I don't know if I'm supposed to take any questions or anything. I think I have about 5 minutes or so, but if anyone wants to add anything or say anything, I'm always more than willing to learn from anyone. So if you have a question or something, feel free to drop. I'm still going to hang around, and thank you so much for this opportunity, Sam, and it was great. It's been a great one listening to everyone, and I hope that you guys have a most fruitful journey in whatever you guys would choose to do after this program. Thank you, and thank you again.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. From the emojis, I can testify and share and confirm that it was an impactful one and a good one at that. Thank you so much, Charles, for the very impactful talk and for sharing your story. I believe stories are a very good way to see that it's also possible. Like when you hear the stories of others, and then you can say, "Oh, this person has done this. Also, I can do it. Also, that means it's not far from me. I can do it." And I hope everyone picked a lot from this, and you're able to implement everything that he has touched tonight. Um, so I'm going to take questions if there are any. So if you have a question, you can just raise up your hand or just unmute. Any question? If there are no questions, you can just drop no question in the chat so that we can move on. I'm waiting. Are there questions? Drop a comment. Okay, you don't have a question. All right. Okay. Eniola, you have a question?
Yes, I do. I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Charles. Thank you for the things you've taught so far. Thank you very much. I went through your LinkedIn profile while you were speaking, and I'm impressed, so to speak. I'm impressed with what you've done and with the things you said in your posts. I would like to ask that do you think that okay, let me rephrase, I'm sorry, that what's the best way for someone who is not looking for a traditional career to network with people? Okay, I do not picture myself looking for a job or wanting to work as an employee. I don't know if that's a an outrageous dream or something that is not practical, but that's what I want for myself. I don't want to work as an employee or in a 9 to 5 job. So I would like you to pro- to offer tips that would help me in networking and in making connections in the particular field I'm in. I'm in field of healthcare, and I'm also looking to break into the field of business and AI in times to come. So I'd like you to offer tips. So I'm not going to be approaching people with the mind that I would like them to connect me to a job opportunity or something like that, but like to make acquaintance with them and to have them in my network. So that's my question. I hope you understand it.
Can you hear me, Eniola?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, and thank you for being the bold person to ask the question. I want to believe everyone isn't shy, but you are the boldest one. Um, that's a very good question. I'll start with, and by non-traditional career, you said not necessarily. You don't think you are the person who wants to go looking for a job. You probably want to delve into like business and into having your own thing that you run. Am I right? If I got your question right.
Yes, and I'm also in the field of healthcare. I'm a student of nursing science, so I think that's non-negotiable for me, kind of.
Why do you think it's non-negotiable for you?
Okay, because it would be expected that since I've spent a certain number of years studying for that course, and since it's a professional course, then I'll be obliged to work in that field at least for some years.
Or before you eventually grow? or are
Something
able
like
to
that.
start something of your own on your own?
Something like that. Yes.
Now, I like how you already have a plan for it and the mental picture. That's a really good thing. Um, it is true that certain fields require you to put some time before you can decide to be on your own, as you said. For instance, I just finished my first, you know, program, and eventually I'm supposed to move on to dental school eventually, but that's still something that's in the pipeline. However, I've always been this person who loves business. I was speaking to my friends yesterday and I'm telling them that when I go to work sometimes and I'm in the office and I'm working, I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love it so much. It's what I've always wanted. It's not stressful, but like when I get into the lab and I'm working, I'm bored sometimes because what I've always enjoyed doing is things like this, coming to share knowledge. I love writing. I love speaking at a training, at a conference. I love business. That's me. That's what you would wake me up in the middle of the night and tell me, let's go do this. I'll join you in doing that. And but when I'm done with dental school, I probably would have to work for maybe a year or 2 or 3 years, who knows, before I can eventually fully commit to that. But this is what taking initiative does for you. You are able to defy the norms. And what is the norm? That norm that you just said it. You have to work or do a certain thing for a certain period of time. Who says that even if you are working, you can't do something alongside that? Who says that while you're working, you can't organize simple trainings? Or you said, or maybe, I don't know the kind of business you're looking at getting into, if it's in that field, if it's in that nursing field. For instance, here in America, we have some people who work as like nurses, and as they are nurses, they have like little schools where they teach people how to become certified nursing assistants. That's something we have here. It's a business. You have become a professional in your field. Of course, you are getting the knowledge, you're growing while working. So who says you can't get that knowledge for a bit, get into that field for a bit of time, put in some work into it, and then while you're doing that, you are also doing something that you love doing or would want to do. I think life is what you can make out of it. And it's also how do I put this? What you want for yourself, you're the only person that can go to get it for yourself. That's how I'll say it. And you're the only one that is able to defy any norm. There are norms. There's a culture in the world of how things are usually meant to go. But then you are the only one that can say, this is my life and this is how I want this to go for my own self. And that's why people need to be daring, need to be bold and say, no, this isn't just what I want for myself. I'll give you a very quick one. I know this isn't really a career advice, this isn't career related, but it's a more life this thing. When we started work with Read for Good, I had a lot of people telling me then, "Are you okay? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, you're still very young. You're still like." I started Read for Good when I won't tell you the age, but I was really young. And imagine trying to run a project that's going to cost us several tens of thousands of dollars in a community that I've never been to before, or in communities that I haven't ever been to. Because now we are done with the first one, we are about getting done with the first one, and should be getting to another one soon. But I said to them, "This is what I want to do. I felt led to do it, and I'm going to do it." And that was how we started. And in the course of doing that, we've recorded a lot of big wins that wouldn't have been possible if someone didn't answer that call. So, what is your call? What are you being? What do you feel? I'm a person of faith, so I would say, what do you think God is asking you to do as it is? What are you feeling led to do? Answer your call. But then in also answering your call, you also want to use wisdom with it. Wisdom, the Bible says, is profitable to direct. Use wisdom in answering your call. I believe that you'll figure it out eventually, but use wisdom to answer your call and answer that call that you're being listened. To network, the other part of your question, you said to network. Networking is very, I don't think there's any specific way you network with people. I mean, you go for events, when you go for those parties and stuff, you go for, instead of going for parties to just eat and dine and jump around, go for parties also to ask questions. Go for parties to also meet with new people, to connect with them and ask them how you can add value to them and how they can add value to you. Also, improve yourself. You really want to improve yourself, because when you improve yourself, it's not like how you said you went on LinkedIn and you saw all of these things about me. Imagine the number of people who, when you put yourself out on LinkedIn, see that, oh, you've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. They would look for you. You wouldn't be the one looking for them at that point in time, because everyone goes to who addresses their needs. We are about working on our fellowship for Reach for Gold. There are some people we've needed to come share knowledge at the event. We are the ones going to look for them. They didn't come to look for me. None of them. And the one that's going to reach out to them and say, hey, we've seen you do this. We know you do this. We like that you do this. And we want you to come be a part of what we do here. And that is it. So if you would network, there's no specific or formal way to network than to improve yourself and present and put yourself in a place that presents you the opportunity that is going to help you to meet with people that align with your vision, align with your goals, and are going to help you in getting to the next stage of your life. I don't know if I did justice to your question. I was a bit distracted when you were asking, but I really hope I did justice to it.
Yes, you did justice to it, but I'm not really satisfied,
So
especially with
can
the
you
fact.
ask more? You want to ask more specifically?
Okay, it's still concerning networking. You mentioned about the person who helps you get your first job. I would
Okay,
like you to go over how it is that you met him, and then just provide some tips from that.
okay.
If
I
that's
already
all.
said. I said now that you want to put yourself in places that will present you such opportunities. Do you remember me saying that? Do you remember me
Yes,
saying that? Good. Did you
yes.
remember that when I was speaking before, I said I attended the career fair? Did you?
No, I wasn't paying attention then, so I did not hear you
Oh
say
my
that.
goodness.
I'm
Okay, so if
sorry.
you put that together, I put myself in a place that was going to present me the opportunity then. I went to a career fair that the school usually organizes. Well, one may argue that I was a bit privileged in a sense that I had that opportunity of a career fair. I know it's not everywhere that you probably would say career fair, but there's this thing there where the school I was going to used to have career fairs every semester, where they bring like companies and people to come and talk, but not necessarily talk, but like meet with students. So some people get jobs on the spot, some people have their resumes reviewed, some people like connect with some of these companies, and then they are able to start working towards something like that. That's probably something you want to begin to pursue, a career fair. Are there any such opportunities around your vicinity where you are? Check for them. You may also want to check for open houses. I don't know if there are any such opportunities at where you are. Open houses are like events where you just walk into a company. When you walk into the company, they usually have like, they probably will have like an event where they are hiring some people, and then they just have you walk into the company. Like I said, I don't know what opportunities are available around where you are, but for where I am at now, this is where the kind of opportunities that have been available for me that I have utilized. On the other hand, you are in the health field, you're a nursing student. Have you tried getting an internship? Like maybe walking into a random clinic, a good clinic, and just walking up to the front desk and saying, hey, I want, is there a way I can intern with you guys? I think sometimes we always look at getting money for some of these things. Like we want to get paid, and it's good to want to get paid for an internship and all of that. But look at it also as, even if I don't get paid, I'm getting some form of knowledge. I'm getting some form of, I'm connecting with someone. Have you tried randomly reaching out to some doctors that you've seen on that LinkedIn? Sending them an email, just entering their DMs. Hey, I'd like to connect with you. You are in the same field as I'm in, and there's so and so thing. These are the needs I want to address, and so and they'll tell you, okay, go this way, go here, do this, do that, and probably I want you to mentor me. And once they begin to mentor you, they probably will be able to connect you with one thing or the other. So, like I said, you want to put yourself in a place that presents you opportunities, because opportunities are only meant for those who desperately want them. Desperately want them. So I've talked about the open house, I've talked about the career fair, I talked about randomly even reaching out to people, the same way people slide into people's DMs and then they earn themselves a partner for life. That's the same way you can slide into someone's DM and you earn yourself a mentor or you earn yourself your next job. But then also even putting yourself out there more is something that is going to help you, because you want people, because sometimes people don't want to work with, people don't want liabilities. Let me put it like that. If someone came to me, oh, I want you to mentor me, I want you to do something for me, I'll first ask, what have you done? because I'm a very busy person. So I don't want someone that is going to take me back and then I have to start telling them this is how you write, this is how you do this is how you do that. I want someone who probably has one or two things that has been done. So you want to also, like, you really want to invest in yourself. This that you've done is an investment you've made into yourself. If you put this out there that, oh, I just finished attending this seamless life ECAP program for, I don't know how long it was, maybe a month or 6 weeks. And these are some of the things that I've gained from this event, in this program. You put it out there on LinkedIn. If you approach someone on that LinkedIn, it's going to be easier for them to grant you audience than for them to grant you audience when you just come with a bare profile. At least that's how it is for me. When someone reaches out to me on social media and there is nothing there that I can refer to, I don't respond to it. If you reach out to me and I check your profile, I'm like, okay, this person has something to offer. And you reach out and you're, oh, hey, I see you've gotten this opportunity here and there, here and there. And I would love to connect with you on how I can gain such opportunities. It's easier for me to say, okay, this is what I think you should do. And maybe let's schedule a call or something and, we can work together on that. So it still comes down to you want to put yourself in a place that gives you that opportunity to grow. And that's how it's been for me personally, though. And I know it's different for everyone. Yeah. Are there any other questions? I think I'll just hand back to you, Sam.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Charles. Oh God, man, it seems you guys are
So,
enjoying. You don't want to allow Charles to go, right?
no, I just have one question.
It's
All
fine.
right.
It's not related to when your initiative, your Reach for Gold initiative. So for
Mm-hmm.
someone that is looking to volunteer, you mentioned that there is an eligibility criteria and all. For someone that is looking to volunteer like actively, am I eligible or do I still have is there like a process for the whole thing?
Okay, that's a good question. So, we are not looking for volunteers, actually. What we want is we are trying to run a fellowship program. We are going to be training social innovators, people who are doing one thing or the other, or want to do one thing or the other here and there that addresses social issues. And we need to work with them over a course of I think 10 weeks, and they are all going to execute capstone projects. And when they execute this capstone, they are going to work with some top level people who have been doing really wonderful things for a while now. And after they execute the capstone projects, they are going to what's it called? We are going to be awarding the best fellow with the best capstone project a very good price. I wouldn't say the amount here so that Sam doesn't say Sam doesn't say this thing, but that's what it really is. And the eligibility pretty much is, I think, anyone who is 18 and above, anyone who has an interest in social impact and all of that. And there's a couple of things here and there. They are on our social media pages. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if I answered your question also.
Yes, you did actually. You did. Thank you. I'll look at
Okay.
your LinkedIn profile IG
You're more,
later.
you're more, but if you want to check the website, you can just go on the website also. Reach
Okay.
for gold.org. www.reach-gold no reach for gold.org, and you'd see more
Uh,
information about that.
all right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Awesome, amazing. So, for the Reach for Gold, you all can check it out on the website and also the Instagram handle. Just search for Reach for Gold. Just go on Google actually. Search for Reach for Gold Initiative. It will be the first website you see. So you can check for more information there and also follow the social media handle so that you can stay updated on every information. And don't keep it to yourself. Share it abroad, share it with your friends, share it with people you know that are into social initiatives like social impact. They do SDGs and all. So share it with them and get them on board. There's a prize for the best. Like you said, he doesn't want to call the money. For me, I think I'll cut the money. So there's a prize, and it's not just one prize. There are a lot of prizes, but the one of the prizes is 500,000 for the best capstone project and the best fellow. So that's what a part of the prize for those that are selected, and those that finish the program and stay till the end. Not just finish the program, you execute the capstone project fully and you do it excellently well. So it's going to be a very it's a program you don't want to miss. That's if you look through it and you see that you're eligible, and don't just keep it to yourself. Like I said, share it with someone. So I'm part of it, not like I'm outside it. I'm part of the program, so I'm part of the organizers. So that's why I'm even focusing on it much better. So you guys should jump on it and also share it. All right, thank you so much, Charles. I really appreciate you for staying till now, and I know I only booked for 30 minutes, but you stayed more than that, and you accepted even more questions. I'm super grateful and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I think we have a few things to do before we go, and the next one is to recognize the participants that stood out. So I thought I would see some emojis.
Thank you for
Okay,
having me. It was a pleasure, and thank you for all that you are doing also.
thank you so much, Charles. So thank you, everyone. So should we announce the people? I have I have I have two names, but I'm still finding it difficult to go with one. So I wish I can drop a poll here right now so everybody will vote. But I don't want that vote to be a vote from you guys. All right. Oh yeah, guess, drop the name in the chat. Who do you think stood out? Vote for your accountability partner. Nobody wants to vote. Oh. See the way they are laughing. Uh, let's see. Uh-huh. I'm seeing a name there. Amazing, amazing. They are giving you your flowers, Otemilolua. Okay. You guys, I see Ojoro here. Oh. I'm seeing Ojoro here. Oh. Ojoro, accountability partner. They are calling themselves. This is Ojoro. Actually, everybody has been amazing. Like, it has been an amazing journey, and I'm glad we had fun and we had so much to learn. We had so much to learn, and it has been a good one for us all. And mentioning names does not mean like everyone didn't do well. We all did well. Like you all did well. Looking at the conditions and everything, we all did well. So I'm just going to be calling two names now to celebrate them for their hard work and for what they for putting in the work actually. So in no particular order, I have Temiloluwa. She did well, like putting in the work and everything. And then Secondly, we have Precious. Precious also did well. Like when it comes to putting effort into the document, putting effort into the task, not just trying to submit fast, not just trying to rush the work and following through every task and also doing everything accordingly. She really did well and following the timeline also. They both stood out and it's been an amazing one. So there, like we say from the start of the program, there is a prize for for the best participant, that's the best fellow, and also there is also an internship opportunity for you guys. So more of this will be communicated via email to everyone. And also, no, the next on our, I'm seeing some comments. What's happening in the comments? Am I missing something? Where's the refined mind? So let's quickly wrap up. I don't want us to shoot more than. So what next? We have the support. Please, sorry. So we have the support group for everyone. So in that support group, which is the Telegram, we'll be shutting down the WhatsApp. So we're going to stay on the Telegram where we get to interact, and the support group is for life, and you get to ask questions. You get to also, might probably be having live classes, but I can't say for now. But depending on the time, so we might have quarterly classes where we get to meet quarterly and get to interact and also check on your progress. So that will come in the Telegram support group. Also, we'll also have the resource folder where you get to access all the resource that has been provided. Like I said, also it will be updated. It will be updated. So whenever I find more things, I will add that to the resource folder. So next, coming, so I don't miss anything. You will all be getting your certificate, your digital certificate via email. So that will be sent to you via email immediately after today. So you'll get your digital certificate. You can share it on LinkedIn. You can post it on LinkedIn. You can add it to your LinkedIn certifications also, and also share it. So I've spoken about the support group, and also it's more like an alumni. So next also is mentorship. If you need access to me, you have my WhatsApp contact. You can definitely reach out to me if you need and continuously you will need help in terms of reviewing your portfolio, your resume, and also interview practice. That's why you have an accountability partner. Let them become your friends, connect with them, meet them physically since you guys are still in school, meet on campus and get to talk, become friends. Let them become your accountability partner beyond the classroom. For your goals, your life vision, share it together and keep track of yourself. Like maybe you guys will meet once a week or once in 2 weeks. Set a timetable and then make sure that you guys follow up on each other. What are you doing now? Have you achieved what we discussed the last time? What have you done since last time we spoke? So you guys should keep track and keep being accountable to each other. Don't stop here. Keep this accountability thing and keep it going. Keep interacting with each other. I want you guys to even set a time and date now after this call. When are we going to be meeting? Maybe once in a month. Just pick a time that is more like, don't stress yourself, that is convenient for you, even though it's once a month. Meet and jump on a call and said, oh, what have you done for the last month? What are you doing this month? And then you guys can keep yourself accountable. It's easier when you move together than doing everything alone. So you guys can keep track of your job applications, the opportunities you're going for, the event. You can go to events together, network together. It's sweet, like when you go on a journey together. You need friends. Charles is my friend, even though I'm in Nigeria, he's in the US. We keep each other accountable, and when he's having a program, I participate, and I try to also bring him to what is happening in my own life. So that's the joy of having people around you, like minds. And this kind of program is where you get them. So meet with them and then keep this accountability thing going forward. So guys, thank you so much for it. Has been an amazing journey. I'm so excited and happy that we had this time. So right now we're going to be having a screenshot. So I don't know if you guys are aware you can turn on your videos. So if you can turn on your videos so that we can quickly take a screenshot of our faces.